There is great interest. Over 40 energy consultants want to see how this detached house in Darmstadt in Germany, built in 1928, is being renovated to high energy efficiency. The Passive House Institute is accompanying this retrofit as part of the EU project outPHit. In the morning, the Research Institute already hosted a workshop. The speakers presented important general aspects of a highly energy-efficient retrofit to the outPHit standard. At the same time, they addressed the special features of the specific project in Darmstadt.
Und so sieht es nachher aus, wenn wir da hinkommen. Und das sind noch ein paar Zahlen für die Energie.
The refurbishment of the outer building shell is almost complete, and the scaffolding has now been removed, while work on the interior is still in full swing. But already now the residents are clearly benefiting from the energy improvements. Everyone is absolutely delighted with the new living comfort, for example.
Ja, dass das Innenraumklima sich so phänomenal.
I couldn't have imagined that the indoor climate would develop so phenomenally. It just turned out really well. Before, even in summer, you needed a blanket on the sofa. It was just uncomfortable. Your feet were constantly cold. And in winter, it was actually a disaster, I have to say. And that's completely gone.
Und das ist komplett weg.
Good thermal insulation for the entire house was important to the building owners as well as to the architect. It ensures pleasant warmth in winter and keeps the heat out in summer. To achieve this, the detached house is being refurbished with passive house components from the basement to the roof. The charm of the almost 100-year-old building is retained. A photovoltaic system was also installed on the completely renovated roof. The exterior walls were mainly insulated with a timber frame construction with blown-in cellulose. The new windows are triple glazed and also have passive house quality. The refurbishment concept includes a ventilation system with heat recovery. The system ensures controlled air exchange, but the windows can, of course, still be opened.
Prinzipiell empfehlen wir dringend, dass
In principle, we strongly recommend that a ventilation system with heat recovery is installed, a so-called comfort ventilation system, so that we get fresh air day and night and throughout the winter without having to open the windows. Of course, this ventilation system needs pipes so that the air can reach all the rooms. In an old building, we always have little space. And here, in this building, we were lucky that we were able to remove the chimney. And in that place, in that half square meter, the ventilation pipes now run from the cellar to the roof. That means you now have the same space as before, since the chimney is used for the ventilation system.
The heat supply in the house has also changed. The retrofit has significantly reduced energy requirements, and the building owners can now do without fossil fuels.
Wir hatten ursprünglich hier ganz normal eine Gasheizung.
We previously had a gas heating, as was normal. All the houses in the street here have a gas connection, and we considered whether or not we would need it in the future. We then had the gas pipe disconnected, and now we have a multi-split appliance for the heat supply and a separate heat pump for the hot water supply instead.
Wärmepumpe für die Warmwasserversorgung.
The idea of presenting this outPHit retrofit project in theory and practice is well received by the energy consultants.
Ja, das ist ein absolut schlüssiges Konzept.
That is an absolutely coherent concept, especially when it comes to passive house refurbishment. It's always the detail that makes things so interesting in terms of implementation, whether it works or not. And if you can see it directly on the building, it's always good for your own projects. And for future planning, if you can see what you're getting yourself into.
Das Ganze ist interessant. Dass man
The whole thing is interesting, that you first get to know what was done, what the idea behind it was, what the wall structure is like, that you have a theoretical view of it, and then to see the whole thing in practice. Above all, the insider tips that you get, for example, about the thickness of the plaster so that it doesn't get mossy, that was also new for me. You can always learn something new. It was really interesting.
Word has gotten around that the building owners are very satisfied with the energy-efficient retrofit. The neighborhood is now also showing an interest in significantly lower energy consumption and increased living comfort.